Hello, everybody. I am Cole Thomas, creator of the Radically Contented concept for simplifying the moment. I'm doing a video that I did in a much slower format last week. When I looked at it, it almost made me fall asleep, so I'm going to do it again and try to be a little more directed and directive, right? So I need to be focused, and I'm going to give you a few things that you can easily focus on. I'm the creator also of several videos per month that are designed to help you hack your way back from feeling distressed during some part of the day to feeling focused. We know that at any point in time, you can be on your merry way doing whatever it is you intend to do with your day, and something can come up, and for some of us it can feel like it just derails the entire process. So I created these 7 characters. We call them the 7 CPs, and you can always look those up behind a hashtag with CP like the letter CPS, or C like water, and P's like peas, like legumes, right? So numeral 7 CPs or 7 CPs. However you look it up, my content will come up. I am creating more content just for you. Today we are going to, and I'm using notes this time so I can go faster, okay? So today we're going to talk about the P the P who represents planned spontaneity. Planned spontaneity. In short, that is being ready for your intention to get sidetracked a little bit during the course of your day, and to manage it, and to be able to manage it emotionally, right? So you are, I'm going to say that again, planned spontaneity. It boils down to having a plan, having an intention for your hour, for your morning, for your day, but also being prepared emotionally if something comes up, and when something comes up, to maybe kick your plan offline for a bit, right? So the P, or the character for planned spontaneity, is Anne. Has Anne in it. That's one of the ways you can remember it. And while each of these P's represents an important coping mechanism that you can practice regularly, each of the P's also has a tragic flaw, right? Because in some regards, they're like us. They're muses, but they're kind of like us too. So Anne's tragic flaw is that she carries shame. It's related to her backstory. You will someday read about that if you haven't already, because I do, while I am working on a book version of Radically Contented, there is, like I said, content online already. So what I want to tell you quickly is, if you are aware of carrying shame, even though you feel like it's not yours to carry, or you feel like it is, but we know, or I can tell you, that in the long run, shame is counterproductive, right? But it can catch us up sometimes based on things that have happened to us, or things that we have been a part of that in retrospect was a terrible idea, right? So I want to ask you to follow a process the next time you encounter a person or a situation and you are aware of feeling shame. You might be in the middle of something, so I want you to quickly notice a note. It can take, I don't know, 10 seconds. Note what happened before you felt the way you feel, and note where you feel it, where in your body mind you are experiencing the pain, because shame can show up as a lot of different physical traits. it can also show up in your thinking, right? So make a note about that. Where is it showing up? What happened before you began to feel that way? Was something said? Was something unsaid but implied? What was the trigger? What do you think the trigger was? So later on, and it doesn't have to be the same day, but later on, when you can decompress and you can reflect, I'm going to ask you to try to recreate that feeling. If you can focus on what it is that happened and who was involved, just kind of think back to that moment. I'm asking you to make yourself uncomfortable on purpose, to reflect. And in this time, when you experience, your body mind experiences whatever it experienced before, you know that you are in a safer condition to respond. You're kind of offline, so you can do breathing exercises, you can do rocking exercises, tapping exercises, percussion exercises. There are any number of things that are mentioned in my body of work online that are physical responses that you can give to feelings. And while I'm not giving you this as a remedy to shame, so this is not going to erase your shame, what it will do is allow you to create a plan for when you encounter this in real time and you're at work or you're dealing with your kids or you're doing something where you may not have a lot of time to process it. You know what it is, you may not have a lot of time to process it, but if you can get a few minutes to do some physical response to it, it can take down the distress that is associated with the shame. Ultimately, of course, you may feel empowered to lighten the burden of how shame affects you. And that could be the step that you need to look for some longer term solutions, professional solutions. It could include something like doing a resolution session with someone, whether it's professional or you just decide, hey, I need to get these folks together who were involved in this behavior or this thing and try to make some peace around it. Could involve therapy. You may discover that you need to pursue a different way of looking at your spiritual life. It could be any number of things. 7CPs are not set up to treat any type of condition. What it does allow you to do is manage in real time, because you're practicing when you're at home, you're practicing in your car, you're practicing when you are exercising, when you're dancing, when you're doing leisurely and recreational things, so that when you are in a real-time situation and you experience this level of stress or distress, you know some go-to practices. So Anne's tragic flaw is the carrying of shame, and one of the ways that Anne is coping with it is to notice and note when she is in a place that that she can reflect on what happened, why it might have happened. You know, was it something someone said, or was it something that happened and what Anne told herself about what was happening? But whatever the case, she allows herself some time to recreate, if possible, that feeling, and then practices some physical steps that she can take to reduce its impact. and that is empowering. What I would also add to this, for the management of the physical impact of shame is, and this is going to sound oversimplified, but a number of things with the radically contented concept sound overly simplified. You may have heard them before, or over and over, because the history is that many of these things are proven ancient remedies. All I'm doing is putting them together in a way that would help you to remember how to practice them, when to use them, and how to use them as a bridge, right? A bridge back to getting you back on track. So, posture. Your posture can also help you with shame, right? So, if I stand taller, what that does is it opens my body open, my body posture, right? And when my body posture is open and my spine is better aligned, one, I'm breathing better, my blood flow is better. But for people who are trying to hide, that's a threatening posture, because it says I'm confident, it says that I believe in myself, it says that I am walking in my own power, essentially, right? For whatever you believe about that, or I am walking and I feel empowered, right? The opposite of that is sort of that curled in, hiding, hoping no one says anything to you and no one looks at you too hard or asks anything of you, right? Those things can go along with a number of mindsets, including introversion, which is not a condition or a disease, and it's there's a word for that. It's a temperament, right? Introversion is a temperament. Either way, you can open up your body when you walk and when you sit so that you physically feel better, regardless of what's going on the inside. It's not quite akin to when people say if you're having a bad day, dress up, look nice. But it can affect how people respond to you, right? It can definitely affect how people respond to you, as well as affect how you feel on the inside and what's going on with you physiologically. So, I think I finished 2 minutes sooner than the previous one. I hope that you can take this under advisement. Remember, if you are looking for radically contented, you have to make sure that content has TED on it. It has to be contented. There's some other person who has published something with a similar name. My name is Cole Thomas. My work is usually associated with green things, peas, and 7 common practices. So common and practice, CP, 7 CPs, and then the little guys, and drummer elder Fidel, Justice, Opie, and Rex, the 7 CPs. Thank you for listening. See you next time.